Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Here we go. All right. We're a little late, but hope you're taking a lunch break, and let's get it. Let's get it. It's a crazy day so far. A little surfing, a little Starbucks, second coffee. My videos keep getting taken down by YouTube. Don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's discussions around Bitcoin or what, but we'll figure it out eventually. Let's wait for some more people to join, and we'll jump into this. What's up? What's up? What's up, Francisco? What's up, Larcy? What's up, Matt? From Canada, where they have the loonie, the currency, and the bird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. YouTube keeps shutting me down. I don't know if you guys got my last video from yesterday, but it got blocked. All right. What are my thoughts about social media platforms? I don't know. It's just making it harder and harder to keep a video up. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's I'm just talking about Bitcoin or what, but it's crazy. Hugh Meyer, you can stop it. You can only hope to you can't stop it. That's right. You can only hope to contain it. All right. Let's do a little business. So if you're looking to earn more crypto, BlockFi is the place to do it. I'm currently earning 6% compound interest on my Bitcoin. As I told you guys before, I've got over 50% of my Bitcoin holdings, personal Bitcoin holdings in BlockFi. I think I'm earning somewhere blended interest less than 6% on that, which is very good. I also have a large amount of money that I have in GUSD, and that's earning 8.6% APY. So more and more people are catching on to the fact that because there's not a lot of major institutions lending money in the crypto space, people are having to pay a lot of interest if they borrow money and want to do things with that money. BlockFi is capitalizing on that. Will it be there forever? I doubt it. Will they be able to take advantage of it now? They are. The greatest thing about it is they're sharing some of that upside with you, and that's why they can pay 8.6% APY. Just think of BlockFi as a traditional bank. They have no hidden fees, no lockup periods on your cash, which is really cool, and you can start accruing interest immediately. 4 days from now, I get my interest payment. I use their Flex system, which I think is really dope. You can actually put Bitcoin in, Ethereum in, Litecoin in, or some stable token, and you can choose how you want to get paid. You can get paid in kind, or you can get paid in GUSD or fiat, or you can get paid in Bitcoin. I choose Bitcoin. I just love the compounding. Very, very cool. BlockFi is based in the United States. They're regulated like any fintech company. They're backed by folks like the Winklevoss twins, Coinbase, and huge, huge venture capital investors like myself and Pomp and Mark. So in my eyes, BlockFi is really one of the best ways to earn more and reach your financial goals faster. The stock market's been off the chain. The S&P has been off the chain. Gold's been off the chain. And I don't know how long that's going to run. It may continue with, just into November. But I took some chips off the table, diversified a little bit. I used BlockFi to do it. So anyway, check out the link below. Big fan. And I think Hugh got our baseball hat. Our trucker cap has been distributed. So big shout out to Eric in design, Hazel. I think Bruce had some work on that. Our sweatshirts are going to be dropping soon too. So it's pretty cool stuff. Anyway, Crypto Chick, what's going on? Let's jump into the news. First and foremost, what's Bitcoin doing? It was getting absolutely wrecked yesterday. Wow, it dropped all the way to 11,119 and has rebounded to 11,535. So it's had some nice uptick on the 4 hour. Again, I'm way off of where I thought we would be on August 26th. I had us pegged at 12,028, so we're about $500 off of where I expected us to be. And I'm still sticking by my claim that we'll have a new all-time high by the end of October. So we'll see. Again, my time preference is low. I'm not trading. We don't trade here at Going Parabolic. We're simply holdlers or hodlers or however you want to pronounce it. And it's all about, from my perspective, holding and getting a little bit of compound interest exposure on a portion of my crypto. I just feel like it's working. The money's working for me, and I've done it for years now. So I can tell you that it's a solid thesis. OPSEC, do your own research and check it out. So very cool, very cool. I'm gonna try not to get this video, this live stream banned today. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but they will not keep my videos up. So I think I already put some topics out there that we would cover. So first of all, the S&P looks like it's up, and that's up because of some good information. So, we keep saying it's like better bad news, but look, at some point, I'm not a contrarian and I'm not a negative person. So, eventually we're going to call it just good news, but it seems like better bad news. Treasury yields briefly climbed to the highest levels in about 2 weeks, signaling investors rising confidence in prospects for the U.S. economy. It's good news. The S&P 500 edged higher Wednesday, on course for the fourth consecutive record, buoyed by data supporting U.S. economic recovery. The broad stock market index climbed 0.3%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slipped 30 points, 0.1%. The NASDAQ Composite rose 0.7% after also hitting a record close Tuesday. Volatility in U.S. stocks has been muted through much of August. And I think August is traditionally a really down month for stocks. So for it to be flat or muted, it's not a bad sign. Kind of bullish, with many investors and traders staking summer vacations in the U.S. and Europe. I don't know of many U.S. people that are vacationing in Europe, but maybe people are moving around Europe more freely. I don't think we can go very many places here from the U.S., but maybe people are staycationing or moving around the U.S. The CBOE Volatility Index, a closely watched gauge of turbulence in U.S. stocks, has in recent days been at its lowest since before the coronavirus pandemic capsized markets. Investors have grown confident in recent weeks that the Federal Reserve and other major central banks will continue to bolster the economy by holding short-term interest rates low, buying government bonds and other forms of debt. And mark my words, the president is not going to allow this stock market to go down before the November elections. Mark my words. So look, DDTG, stocks only go up. And I think that's the play right now. Again, I don't own any stocks. I'm not a trader, but it seems like it's too easy. But that's when you get wrecked, right? Be careful. Be careful. Data on Wednesday showed orders for durable goods in the United States surged 11.2% in July, more than double the expected gain. Orders for defense aircraft and motor vehicles drove the spending higher, but even without those volatile categories, the figures exceeded forecasts. So looks like bullish news in regards to the S&P and its rise, and the economic data looks pretty darn good. I saw this, which I thought was really interesting. I absolutely hate the rules that keep most of the population from investing in venture, because they make you be an accredited investor to get into this kind of private venture world. And I think that's absolutely oppressive, and it's not fair. Look, I want people to be protected from predators or people who are pitching scammy ideas. But the fact that you can't participate in private offerings because you're not an accredited investor seems ludicrous to me. And it's one of the reasons I'm so compelled, and I love blockchain and some of the opportunities that we have associated with this, because it kind of levels the playing field a little bit. But it looks like the SEC is giving more investor access to private equity and hedge funds, which is really interesting. Sorry, phone call coming through. That's not helpful. So let's dive into this a little bit. The Securities and Exchange Commission deemed more investors capable of fending for themselves. That's my point. In the largely unregulated world of private equity firms, hedge funds, and business startups. Commissioners voted 3-2 on Wednesday to approve a proposal expanding its definition of so-called accredited investors. Again, my point, to include holders of entry-level stockbrokers license, knowledgeable employees of non-public firms, and others. I don't even know what that means. Such investors will be able to sidestep the SEC's existing wealth-based threshold of at least $1 million in net assets. Think about how ludicrous this is. So if you are someone who makes $55,000, $60,000 a year, $26,000 a year, $30,000 a year, but you're very conservative, you're trying to save money, you've put some capital together, you're excluded from investing in some of the single best vehicles in terms of returns. Venture, IRRs of over 30%. Private companies. You may be in Menlo Park and meet the guy who just started Uber or Lyft, and you get no chance to invest in that because you're not an accredited investor sitting on $1 million of assets or a combined income with you and your spouse of over $250,000 a year, or have net assets of $3 million. There's all kinds of crazy rules around this accredited investor status. I don't even know why they would change the rule for you to have an entry-level stockbroker's license. I don't have any of that stuff. None of it. Yeah. So the go into the rules of accredited investors. So such investors will be able to sidestep the SEC's existing wealth-based threshold of at least $1 million in net assets, not counting your home, or at least $200,000 in annual income. The existing system is fundamentally unfair, unequal, and unjustified, said Commissioner Elad Roisman, who supported the change. Wealth is a crude measure of a person's ability to make financial decisions. So I'm going to stop right there. I applaud the SEC. I totally support changing the accredited investor status. I think it's an absolute scam, and it's another one of those situations where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. You could be sitting right there at the table with me, and some guy walks up with a brilliant idea. We both recognize it's a brilliant idea. You can't invest, but I can. It's not even American. It makes no sense to me. We're both putting chips on the table. We both risk the capital. But guess what you can do? You can go down to the corner store and buy a bunch of lotto tickets, or you can go to Las Vegas and put it all on black. Who's stopping that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many lottery tickets I buy? Zero. Like zero lottery tickets. Who's buying this stuff? I know Uncle Joe does. Uncle Joe loves a lottery ticket. He loves it. He loves that stuff. He drives down the road. I can see it. I'll be with Uncle Joe. We're driving down the road. He'll look over at that billboard. $50 million lottery. Jay, we got to get some lottery tickets. I don't play that game. You know what my lottery ticket is? SpaceX. SpaceX. That's my lottery ticket. It should be yours too. You should have a chance to invest in Elon Musk, but you can't. It's wrong. Totally wrong. All right, let's see who's in this live chat, because I'm all fueled up this morning. Chris Furman, hoodie arrived today. Thank you. Hey, Chris, send me a picture of you in the hoodie. That would be dope. I'd love to see it. Edward Ains, where can I buy the Wu-Tang Clan crypto shirt? Look, the Wu-Tang Clan crypto shirt is super, super exclusive. I may drop that soon, but I'm not dropping that yet. Hazel, the design team, everybody's working on it. Eric, we're going to get it. All right. Look, the one who knocks, Jay Powell announcement and SEC changes, all about equity markets. It seems like right now. What about regular peeps and the stimulus checks? Yeah, I didn't see what Jerome Powell's talking about. Jay Powell, love it. Leon Gabin, yup, stupid laws. Totally agree. Just oppressive, old, antiquated laws, and it's totally wrong. Rich get richer, poor get poorer. What's up, Sean? We got the Uncle Joe shout out again. I got my whole family is showing up here. We got 42 people listening to this right now. 41 of them are my family. Andre P. Jason, thinking about entirely leaving the fiat world. Do you have all your liquidity in GUSD on BlockFi, earning 8.6%, and then pull out what you need and load onto crypto card as needed? That is an absolute great question. And as I told you guys in the past, I had upwards of 98% of all of my liquid capital. So some of you may have heard you need to have 3 months or 6 months of your operating capital liquid to protect against losing your job and things like that. I subscribe to that type of advice. Like I would tell you, if you're thinking about how much liquidity you need to have, it's great to have 3 to 6 months of cash, working cash available. Now, where do you put it? Put that in a money market? Dead money. Actually, the bank's just stealing from you. They're probably going to inflate it away and chew on it with fees. And money markets, if you're crushing it, you're going to get 1% APY. I took, and I have quite a bit more cash than that because I had a big liquidity event in 2015. So I was sitting on a lot of cash. About a third of my net worth was in cash. I moved that 98% of it into digital assets and cryptocurrency. So I had a huge kind of position. I've used some of that crypto money and cash to do more venture investing. So from that pool of cash, I've expanded my venture exposure. That venture exposure is now north of 50% of my net worth. And that cash position is now like 12 to 15% of my net worth. And 12 to 15%, let's say, because the net worth thing keeps changing. But it was all in digital assets, specifically stable coins, even more specifically GUSD. And I'm making 8.6%. Here's the downside. If you try to go back to banks and you try to do a traditional deal, Andre, be careful. Like if you're trying to buy a house, let's say, or a second home, those funds are not going to look seasoned, and the bank is going to have a hard time following the fact that you took fiat dollars, you off-ramped them into a crypto bank. Now you're bringing them back into a traditional bank. They won't understand it. And so you need to make sure you really are thoughtful. Do I need cash? And does that cash need to be seasoned? Seasoned cash. What it means, it has to sit in a bank account for 6 months so that you can prove provenance of that cash. Very, very important. But if you're not in the market right now to buy a home or have to prove provenance on capital, or you need seasoned funds, I cannot recommend more highly to you to consider putting your money in a very high interest rate environment where you have liquidity, no lockup period, 8.6% APY. It buys you Bitcoin every month that you could potentially compound that Bitcoin and increase the worth. Or you could have them pay in kind GUSD and keep compounding interest that way, right? As the principal increases, you get paid the next month on the principal balance. It's a stable token. These are basic principles. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And if you're sitting broke as a joke, no cash, no plan, looking for lottery tickets, I can't help you, man. I'm just going to keep telling you, don't do that. It's not the way to roll. So again, I'm not playing any music right now because I don't know if it's what I'm talking about or what I'm playing in the background, but my videos keep getting taken down by Google. Maybe my beautiful face, these crystal blue eyes. I don't know what it is, but they are just taking me out. So Bitcoin Moon, I would appreciate it if you guys could please check out my channel. Check out Bitcoin Moon's channel. The guy's in my live chat shilling his own channel. Go check out his channel. Smash the like if you like what I'm talking about, because we need more likes, more followers. Let's do this. Subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Andre, it's my pleasure. My pleasure, man. Seasoned money, provenance. Be careful, because it happened to me. I tried to pull $1.3 million of cash out of my crypto accounts, GUSD account, to buy a second home. The bank didn't even qualify me. They were just like, you can't use any of that money as a down payment for this house. So it looked like I didn't have enough money to buy the house. So I just Bought it for cash. I was trying to use leverage. I told you I like to use leverage for property. I don't want to use cash on something that I can cash flow. I would rather use some leverage, cheap bank debt, take a second mortgage or take a first mortgage on this place. Bank wouldn't even give me a mortgage. Think how stupid that is. Stupid. Denied for a mortgage, and I paid cash, $1.3 million, $1.4 million for this place that I'm sitting in right now. It's just dumb. Dumb. I fired everybody. Fired the bank, fired everybody. All dumb. All right. Linus Goldberg. Good advice from the master. Ha! Telling you. Let's go. Uh-oh. Ferocious. Look out for Ferocious. One of the top crypto artists in the game. Showed up in the live chat here. Super rare. Soon to be on Nifty. OpenSea. Check out her art if you like abstract stuff like I love. Ferocious. And what is Ferocious talking about today? She's telling me that my videos are getting banned because copyright issues. I'm so sorry, but I'd rather just, maybe you guys are seeing this. They're not banning it live, so who cares if they don't get played again? We'll just make sure we play the hot fire tracks. And thanks for that, Ferocious. Broke. Crypto Chick is laughing out loud when I said broke as a joke. Broke as a joke. Crying, trying to absorb what I can from the Jedi Jason to get out of this student debt. Oh boy, don't even get me started about school. That's a whole nother segment. All right, what do we got? Who cares about Vanguard? I don't care about European bonds. Oh yeah. I'm going to talk about the coronavirus. I don't mean to bum anybody out, but I think anytime I can kind of correlate coronavirus to some investing opportunity, I'm using the big brain here, that damn big brain. Here it is. So the virus is shutting down Jersey Mall bondholders. So these malls are getting absolutely wrecked city because nobody can go into them. People are scared of them. The big box retailers are shutting down. If you get a chance, and I don't have a book that I've read about this, but you got to read about the history of a guy named Leslie Waxman. This is the guy who absolutely decimated big box retailers. I think it was in the 70s or so. So what he did was he went into like a Sears and he looked at what people were buying in the Sears. So they might be buying bras and underwear. And so he opened up outside of the Sears Victoria's Secret. And then he went in and he saw like maybe some slick jeans or something, and he opened up Express. And then he looked in there and found something else. He opened up another store. And what he ended up doing is peeling away the kind of Pareto principle of what made Sears work. And he pulled it out of Sears and then put it in these specialty stores, right? But Leslie Waxman is getting absolutely savaged right now because of COVID. And I also think he showed up not in a good light in this Jeffrey Epstein saga. So I think he's one of these dudes who was rolling with Jeffrey Epstein. You got to check out on Netflix or Hulu that Jeffrey Epstein documentary. I'm watching it. It's hard to even take. This dude was nasty, bad guy. And I don't even know what's going to happen to, is her name Ghislaine Maxwell or Ghislaine? It's all bad stuff. Sean Gutierrez, I have to become rich first so I then can become richer. Oh, man, he's an XRP guy. Family member, XRP guy. How about that? Woo! We don't talk enough, Sean. How are you holding XRP? Anyway, Bitcoin. Coin collector. How come you can protest, but my business can't reopen? Woo! Dropping fire right now. Ghislaine. Spencer Mitchell. Is that how it sounds? Ghislaine? Ghislaine? I don't know how to say it. Ghislaine? Sean, we don't talk enough. Look, Just hit me up in the live chat, brother. So anyway, let's see. We're talking about Jersey and bondholders. This summer's market rally hasn't helped banks and investors who lent about $2.7 billion to build the country's second largest mall near the Meadowlands Sports Complex in New Jersey. What are sports? The American Dream Mall has been shut since March, and mutual funds that bought municipal bonds backing its construction have since taken a huge L. How big of an L? Hundreds of millions of dollars in paper losses. The troubles highlight the growing disconnect between ailing segments of the U.S. economy and the surge on Wall Street. Tell me this, or as Pomp says, riddle me this. How is the stock market going up when retail decimated, banking decimated? I mean, it just makes no sense. Money printer going burr. Even with schools in New Jersey preparing to reopen, American Dream remains closed because of a state order aimed at reducing the spread of the new coronavirus. The longer the hybrid mall and amusement park goes without paying customers, the harder it will be for its owner, 555 Group, to repay the money it borrowed from banks and mutual funds in 2017. I think the situation for payments on the bonds has gotten more tenuous, said Lisa Washburn, managing director of bond research firm Municipal Market Analytics. Look, I love that someone at Amazon sat down and said, hey, Jeff, we should put Amazon distribution centers in big box retailers and save these malls. And he was like, yep, good idea. Hope he gave that person a bonus. Finding these distressed assets and repurposing them is, again, I said it yesterday, that is from Jason Williams' Playbook 101. You want to scale your business? Look at the market. See what's out there that you can jump in and become like a virus, just growing inside that host. And you can lever down the price per square foot. You don't have to deal with trying to convince county commissioners and boards to give you some kind of grant or loan or, some type of assistance. Then you get everybody and their dad trying to say, hey, why are we giving these guys tax breaks? You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You sit down with the five guys or 2 of 5 or whatever the heck their name is, and they're taking a massive L, a $2.7 billion hit. Guaranteed, the big brain, guaranteed they're going to let you put your business right in that Nordstrom, that Lord & Taylor, or whatever. Come and fill up my 300,000 square foot space. Crypto Chick, Epstein he rot in hell. He is in hell. And I didn't even watch the whole documentary. I mean, what a absolute horrible human. Whatever is out there that's bad, I hope he's getting it right now. Coin Collector, gotcha. Spencer Mitchell, the S is silent. All right, let me try again. The S is silent. Gilan Maxwell. Am I speaking French now? Is it Gilan? Spencer, the S is silent. Gilan. If you've got me saying this right, I appreciate you, brother. And I'm happy to keep giving you lots of advice. I hope it's right. People are probably cracking up because I don't even know what I'm saying. All right, this is big. Yesterday I tweeted that fossil fuels are dead. I don't mean they're dead. And they've died, ever since there were fossil fuels. People keep saying this is the end of fossil fuels, but they keep roaring back because, our whole economy is based, global economy, most of it's based on oil, right? We have all kinds of, cars and transportation all run off this stuff. Eventually, my point is we have to evolve and we have to get away from the pollution and kind of the negative impact and the stranglehold that OPEC and the oil producing countries, have on the economies of the world. Like right now, China is at war with the United States, in my humble opinion, but it's not a physical war. It's an economic war. It's a trade war. And it's more dangerous probably than any other war that we've had because it could really destabilize some fundamentally important things for the United States. One, our global reserve currency status. I'm certain China, the Middle East, Russia, they certainly don't want to trade oil in US dollars. It's huge for the United States, the stability that the US dollar brings. And as it's pinned to the price of oil. It's super, super important. For us to maintain that is key, I think, strategically. How long do people usually hold on to global reserve status? It's like a 100-year cycle. Don't quote me on that. I think it's like that. So we're running up against a wall right here. I don't know what other currency out there could displace the US dollar in terms of global reserve currency status. My fear, my prediction, my intuition is telling me some type of digital currency will challenge the US dollar in regards to the world's global reserve currency status. And, I'm putting my eggs and bacon and the whole basket in the basket. And I'm saying Bitcoin will benefit from that. I don't know what the currency will be called, but Bitcoin will benefit from that because it may be some other digital currency. As you know, China has digitized the renminbi, which is really interesting to me. And they're testing that right now. Crypto Chick, please do a segment on schools. We need progressive schools focused on entrepreneurship and financial development. Boy, I can't say that enough. Why don't we teach the simple concepts that I'm talking to you about in elementary school, in middle school, in high school, in college? I went through almost every level of education. I have 2 bachelor's degrees, a master's degree. They gave me my PhD. I'm licensed. I was licensed in healthcare. I got them all. I got every kind of degree you have. I probably got 2 weeks of financial education. When I decided to start my own business, I was like, man, maybe I should go to B school. And my accountant said, nah, you'll get your master's in business by doing, and it'll be more practical. And he was right. I mean, I would love to go back to B school and get a PhD in business simply because I like trophies. But it was not going to make me any more money. So anyway, we just don't teach kids. We don't teach people enough about basic financial strategies that can get you out of the damn the hamster wheel of despair and destitution and financial wreckage. It's crazy. Jake Myers, what's the argument for buying a home for someone who isn't sure where they want to be geographically long-term due to career as well as other things? Jake, I actually don't think you should buy a home in that situation. I don't think there's anything wrong with renting, maintaining your flexibility, and testing out a place. Homes are an illiquid liability. And I just don't look at them as investments. It's like cars. And when I say cars, I put an asterisk. Cars that are not rare collectible cars. But if you're buying cars, think of them as a liability. If you're thinking about a house, it's a highly illiquid liability, in my opinion. And, it comes out of necessity. I don't think there's anything wrong with renting. I just don't. All right, Andre. That's why Plan B does not want his identity known. As he has said, he knows that when the USD finally loses its reserve status, it's going to be very ugly. You know who else feels that way? If you guys get a chance, listen to the interview I did with Bitcoin Tina. Tina and I have had very candid discussions. He thinks it's going to be apocalyptic. And those who have Bitcoin, think about this. If Bitcoin actually became the global reserve currency and actually consumed all of the kind of market cap of assets out there, and that someone like Jameson Lopp has a war chest of Bitcoin, or someone like Jason Williams or Plan B or Uncle Joe, they've got a war chest of Bitcoin. They could certainly be a target of the governments, of rogue nations, hackers, all this stuff. So you got to be smart. I hope that we don't have an event like that. But it's certainly interesting to think about and, talk about over a beer or over coffee with friends or here at Going Parabolic. Sean, my 13-year-old had the option this year to take Intro to Finance, which was great. It's about time. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that option. And I've just taken upon myself to teach my kids about finance. They all have Bitcoin wallets, and they all have apps that track their work. in exchange for getting paid. And I'm trying not to give them stuff. I also told each one of my kids, I'm not paying for their college. Nothing. Not paying for their college. I expect them to get scholarships if they choose to go to college. I expect them to take loans if they go to college. I expect them to bear the burden of that. And I don't even expect them to go to college. What I've asked them to do is identify the things that they love in life and be committed to that. And I'll bank that. But college, to me, I'm not that high on it. I was on the board of 2 colleges and universities, and I resigned from the board. I just could not support the kind of nonsense that was going on around how many years does a 4-year degree take? Impossible to graduate in 4 years the way they've structured it. So this is a game. The cafeteria, the expense around living on campus, all this stuff. It was just a big game. It was about numbers. We have 500 people on the football team, 300 people on the golf team. You know, it was just nonsense, absolute nonsense. You've got 11 guys on the field. You got 11 spots on the tennis team. Why do we have 300 professional golf management people? You know, it's just wrong, and it drove me crazy. All right, look, I've been ranting and raving 36 minutes. Smash the like. I gotta go. It's already 1 o'clock. Sorry I was late today. You guys are awesome. Wrap this up.